Froggy 99.9.
Hey, it's Ben Meriden.
This is Ben.
Hey, Ben, this is Gary Allan.
Hey, Gary, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure to get to chat with you, sir. It's been a long time since I've seen one of your shows, but that's unfortunate on my part, not on yours. You've been out there hitting the road hard. I know that. So,
yes, we have.
Man, really looking forward to the show coming up August 12th at the Lights in West Fargo. This is a reasonably new venue. It's a very cool venue. Have you been able to see like pictures and stuff like that? Do people prep you on things like that?
No, I haven't. What is it? Is an amphitheater?
Yeah, so it's an outdoor amphitheater, but it's in like the courtyard of 4 apartment buildings, basically. So you've got people who actually like have the apartments and are going to be sitting out on their balconies watching the show from like the luxury of their apartment, and then the people that are down on the ground in the pit, basically.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, definitely. So just going to jump right into it, basically. Gary Allan, obviously becoming a legend, if not already a legend, technically in the country music world. You've been around for a very long time, since the early mid-90s, let's just say. 96 was when the album came out. You, sir, have some of the songs that set, in my opinion, the tone of that early 2000s era of country music, with Right Where I Need to Be, Man to Man, Smoke Rings in the Dark. What is it? I mean, do a lot of people tell you that you've got that early 2000s vibe, that when you think of that kind of music, you just think Gary Allan right off the top of their head?
You know, I've never heard anybody say that. I know that while we were recording during that era, a lot of people used to say that the drummers and the studio cats would tell me that people are asking for Gary Allan sounding records. And I thought that was super cool. Yeah. And that's my favorite era, probably, you know, the late 90s of music.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, you do have your very own distinct sound out there. And I think that harkens to kind of where you're from, you know, being from Southern California. Obviously, you get a whole different range of influences than the people that are coming from like the Georgias and the Tennessees and the Texas, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. All my influence was West Coast. It was all like Merle Haggard, Buck Owens, Dwight Yoakam. Dwight Yoakam was life-changing for me in high school. Just thought it was super cool.
We actually just announced that Dwight's coming to Bemidji later on this year as well, too. So definitely a cross influence there, you know, with some Gary Allan, some Dwight Yoakam. I'll ask him his thoughts on you, because I'm going to ask you some thoughts real quick. John Party was just inducted in the Grand Ole Opry as the first country music artist from California. Are you a little like disappointed that you haven't been asked, or have you been asked and maybe you politely declined it because you're out there hitting the road too hard?
I was asked and I politely declined it, just because I didn't want to be the first West Coast person to do it.
Oh, well, there you go.
There was always kind of a rift between the CMAs and the ACMs. The ACMs were like the California country music, and they were influenced by like the Town Hall. That was their Grand Ole Opry. It was called the Town Hall Show. And then the Tennessee people were influenced by the ACMs in the Grand Ole Opry. And when they had their award shows, Merle Haggard and Buck Owens would never go play the CMAs, just because it was their rival, so to speak, back in the day. And there's no real rival anymore. I just didn't want to be the first one to do it.
Wow. So maybe now, if they asked again, you would politely accept it this time around?
Probably not.
Okay.
Leave that one alone.
All right, I will, definitely. So very cool, though. Obviously, I know that John has said some nice things about you and things like that, and obviously he's
great.
Yeah, you've got that harken back to, like you said, Merle and Buck and Dwight and things like that. Who outside of country music kind of influenced your sound?
Ooh, you know what? It was probably mostly like punk rock stuff.
Wow.
I listened. I feel like all the kids that I surfed every day before school, and if I drove, you listened to Merle Haggard or George Jones, but if somebody else drove, then we listened to like the surf punks and you know, the Ramones and all the stuff that was hit back then. Stray Cats was heavily influenced by a lot of rockabilly bands. Yeah.
All right. And I know that comes across in your shows because you put on one hell of a performance when you're actually up on stage and things like that.
Yeah. High energy.
Definitely. So I do have one quick question. This is personal to me, and you'll kind of understand where I'm going with this. The last time I did see you was at an outdoor festival, and just as you started singing songs about rain, it legitimately started to rain. Are you a magician, and or do you know the wizarding arts?
It's amazing how often that happens in that song. It just happened again, I wanted to say last weekend in Montana. But same kind of thing. As soon as we started to play it, it just started dumping. Yeah, God's on our side in the light show, I think is what I said.
Nice. I was either thinking you're a magician and or you have like an iPad with a Doppler radar down at your feet, and you're like, guys, we're going to push it back like 3 more songs. Hold on.
I need to, yeah. Be smart.
Because it's such a thing, where there are so many of your songs that make me go back and just realize that, that early 2000s era is definitely a bygone era. Everybody's changed their sound so dramatically. You, in my opinion, like I said, you and Clay Walker and, some of those other names from that era give me back that vibe of the early 2000s. So I appreciate you very much for that, sir.
Well, thank you very much.
And now the question that I'm asking, the name of the tour is the Ruthless Tour, 25 Years the Hard Way. Debuted in 96. Obviously, this tour has been going on for a little while now. How's it feel to be, quote unquote, on the same tour for so long?
Awesome. I've always just said that I want to be the Willie Nelson. I want to, after 20 years goes by, I want you to still be looking over there going, how is that guy still here?
Nice.
And, now we're going on 30 years. So, super exciting. I love the road. I always make records so that I can be out here because I love to play.
Absolutely. The latest album is called Ruthless. It came out in 2021. Can you tell us about that one, and or is there some more new stuff that you're working on in the background that we can look forward to?
I am just now starting the process, so I am just now starting to write a new record. I've got maybe 2 songs written. I just signed a deal with 30 Tigers.
Excellent.
So my next album will be through them, through a distribution company.
That's awesome. Heard nothing but good things about 30 Tigers, so that's going to be a good place for you, I think.
Me too. I think so too.
Absolutely. And then obviously with the debut single, lots of people know every one of your songs word for word, but the very first one is Her Man. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Waylon Jennings had that one a few years before you did, so you're in pretty good company with picking that one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's on a record called The Eagle, if you wanted to try to find it. I didn't know it at the time. And then after I listened to it, I had to stop listening to it because I started singing it like Waylon Jennings. I had to get it out of my head once I did hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. Changed your vibe altogether on the way that you were singing that song. Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
Yes.
Well, we're on the phone again with Gary Allan. He's coming to the lights August 12th in West Fargo. For people who maybe are new to country music or the newest generation, what can they expect out of some Gary Allan live concert?
Ooh, we're going to take you all the way back to 1996. So I'm going to try to do a few off every record and just walk you through time.
Absolutely. Gary, we really appreciate it, sir. We really looking forward to the show coming up the day after my birthday, by the way. Just in case you were wondering on doing something special for me. I doubt it, but that's cool if you do. At the Lights, again, August 12th, Gary Allan going to be out there in West Fargo. We really appreciate you taking some time to chat with us.
My pleasure. I'll see you guys next week.
Absolutely. Hey, Gary. Oh, nope, he gone.